Hello and welcome. Today we will discuss about different style of writing for loop. Okay, in the last lecture we talked about the for loop syntaxes and we have solved a simple program where I'll show you how to write a for loop and how to execute some of the lines multiple times. Now in this lecture I will show you how you can modify the syntax of the for loop which can match with your while loop, or we can say it will look like a while loop statement as well. Okay, so you will really appreciate the way of changing the style of a for loop. So stay tuned and watch the video. So if you recall, I told you that in every looping statement there are three different things that we need to write. So in a for loop we are writing something like this. We will write for, then we are writing the initialization. Okay, initialization, then we are writing a semicolon over here, then we are writing a condition, okay, and finally we are writing an increment or decrement line over here. And this specifies, the curly braces specify the body of the while loop. Whatever you write inside this body will get executed multiple times. So how many times that will be executed, that depends upon your initialization, condition, and increment and decrement operator. Okay, so for loop says we can change the style of this for loop syntax into some other format too. So how it will be possible? It will be possible something like this. You can write this statement in this form as well. So instead of writing this initialization statement over here, you can write it at the top of this for loop, something like this. You will first write initialization, then you can start your for loop over here, and as initialization line was not there, means is not there, so you can simply write here a semicolon, this semicolon, then you need to write the condition over here, and finally put a semicolon, then your increment and decrement line will be there. Okay, then you can specify the body over here. This will work in the same way, like this way, like this one. Okay, for loop also says there is another interesting way to write the for loop, so where you can also remove this increment and decrement line, or you can send this increment and decrement line to the body of the for loop. So you can do like this. So how you are going to do it? You will do like this. First of all, this will, your initialization will be there, then you have to write for loop, you put one semicolon, then you write condition, then you put another semicolon, then you put bracket. So this first semicolon refer to this semicolon, and this semicolon refer to this semicolon. Okay, after that you can write your increment and decrement statement inside the body of the for loop. Okay, so here you can write your increment and decrement. So all these syntaxes, all these for loop syntaxes will work in the similar way. Whatever you write in these boxes, whatever the statements or the number of statements you write inside the boxes will get executed multiple times. Interestingly, if you remember the syntax of the while loop, so I know you remember it, so just I'm trying to show you. In while loop you can see initialization, then you write while keyword, inside that you are specifying your condition, and inside this while loop, this is your body of the while loop, and you are writing the increment and decrement line over here, and you place all the code that you want to execute multiple times over here. So now you compare this while condition, this syntax of this while condition, and the syntax of this for loop. It is more or less equivalent to each other. There are slight changes in the declaration style. Here using for, you are using here while loop, and in place of writing only condition, you are just writing 2 semicolon over there. So that is the flexibility of for loop. So by using for loop, you can easily specify, we can say you can easily specify, you can write it in a different manner. Okay, so what I'm going to do is next is I am going to write some programs that will show you how this syntaxes are helping for execution of statements multiple times. So I'm using my VS Code. So let's say write has include stdio.h, then your void main, and inside that what I'm going to do is I want to execute 2 lines multiple times as like in the previous program, and that I'm trying to write inside the for loop. Okay, so let's say declare a variable I, and I'll show you the first the general syntax, and then I'll change the things in a different manner. Okay, so I will be 0, I less than, let's say 3 times I want to execute, so I plus plus, right? Then I'm writing 2 statements that I want to execute multiple times. Printf incredible India. Okay, then I'll write printf I love my country. Okay, that's the simple program that I'm going to write. And if you execute this program, you can see that it will execute these 2 lines multiple times, and you will get 3 times this will be displayed. Let me use a \n over here so that the statements are more readable. Okay, let me run it again. So you can see 3 times the things gets displayed. Now I want to change this syntax to some other way, something like this. I don't want to write the initialization statement over here. So if I remove the initialization statement, then obviously the initialization statement should go on the top of this for loop. So now the same thing will happen. There will be no issue in this code. If you run this code, you can see the output is coming in the same way. And now I'm trying to remove this increment operator from here, and I want to put it here. Then we have to put a semicolon to show the end of the statement. Now it is also working fine. There will be no problem in this code. So you can see I'm getting the same output. So you can easily notice over here that for loop can be modified in a different manner, and you can see different outputs. Means the same output even if you modify the syntax of the for loop to match your requirement. Okay, so that's all for the today's class. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.